Hi, everybody. It's Cindy here, and this week we've been talking about helping children deal with divorce. And I hope you've found the videos so far helpful. If you haven't seen them, you might want to go back and look at those. Mondays was a general kind of overview of 7 things truths that are important to know about children dealing with divorce. Yesterday, I went through the developmental stages of a child's life and tried to pinpoint some very specific issues or responses that may come up based on the stage of life they are in as they're growing up, and how you can best help them with those particular issues. And today we're going to talk about co-parenting, which I'm sure is all of your favorite job when you're going through a divorce or as divorced people. So, in case you don't know, I have been through this myself. I was married for 22 years and divorced my husband 5 years ago. And at the time, our 2 children together were 16 and 14. And so we had a few years left of co-parenting to manage, but teenagers, which has its own set of unique issues. But we did not go through years and years and years and years and years and years of this. We didn't raise our children, as divorced people for the most part. So I know some of you start very, very young, when the kids are very young, and go through, a decade and a half or longer, trying to balance the co-parenting issue while you're having divorced their other parent. So anyway, I have compassion for you and what you're going through. However, I'm going to really speak to you very bluntly about this, because I've seen it a million times. And, I know a lot about this because of my 25 plus years as a therapist, and having gone through this as a kid myself. My parents got divorced when I was 13, and having, finished raising children for a few years with my ex-spouse also. Done a lot of research, a lot of reading, etc., etc. So I really want to help you. So I really want you to hear me. One of the number one things that I want you to keep in mind is that the marriage is now over. Your relationship with the person is now over, other than the critical role of co-parenting. So as fast and as soon as you are able to let go of everything else between the two of you that's gone on in your history together, the better off your whole family is going to be, especially your children. So it's important to not get into these entanglements of, well, you did this, and yeah, but you did that, and how, to bring your bitterness from the marriage issues into the effort at co-parenting. It just makes life almost impossible for your children to bear. So you must do everything you can. If you need to vent and spew and scream and cry and complain, whatever you need to do about your ex-spouse, do it elsewhere. Not to the ex-spouse, not to the children, not in front of the children anywhere, but privately. Get yourself a therapist. Talk to your close friends. Talk to your family you're close to. Anyone, a pastor, anybody at all. Cry to yourself. Journal it out. Do anything you can. Run it out. Physically exercise it out. Do whatever you need to do to release it, so it does not need to come into the role of co-parenting, because it's a huge distraction from what you are now supposed to be doing, and it's damaging emotionally to everybody. You, the other parent, and especially, above all, the children you both love and care for. Remember, you made each other parents, right? This was a common goal you had, or desire, and it's one of the huge blessings that came from the two of you coming together. So if you can focus on that. My ex-spouse and I wish each other a happy Mother's Day and happy Father's Day every year. and we thank each other for the children. And that is a really great attitude to keep, because it's because of him that I'm a mom. And being a mom is my favorite role on earth, has been for years. And so, I have no regrets being with him because of the children, especially, but other reasons too. But anyway, if you can hang on to the beautiful blessing and gift of your children that you've shared together and keep that as your main focus, even though you're disillusioned with this person, disappointed in this person, maybe still angry at this person, so distressed, depressed, whatever, all I know, the intensity of it is huge. It's very, very important to keep those things separate. So all of your communication with your ex-spouse, the only communication you need to have with your ex-spouse in general now is anything regarding the children that you need to talk about. Logistics regarding the children. Yes, I'll be there at 5 to pick them up. Yes, the band concert's at 7. We'll see you there. Yeah, when do your parents need them to show up for the family reunion? Okay, I'll have them there. Just things like that. Do you want to get the prom dress, or do you want me to get the prom dress? Do you want to go school shopping this year, or do you want me to go school shopping this year? Or whose turn is it to register them for school? Or just managing those kinds of things. Okay, you don't need to go into anything else. All your other stuff is over. It's over with. So let it go. So keep it very much focused on them, or child or children, the logistics of it, and just kind of co-manage the schedules, okay, and the logistics that the children need. Everything else, let it go. Okay, sorry to go crazy on that one, but that's one of the biggest problems that children have to endure, is that. So, and it's not necessary at all. It's not necessary at all. That's why you got a divorce, so you don't have to be married anymore. So don't act like you're still married when you're divorced. Okay. Parenting is about the children's medical and health issues, the children's educational upbringing, the children's spiritual upbringing, if you are into that at all in your family, and routines and disciplinary issues. Okay, those are the main subjects that I hope you line up well with. You must, Kansas state law anyway says that parents need to make medical decisions together, educational decisions together, and like religious education decisions together. Last time I checked anyway. So those things you must coordinate together and not be doing stuff on the sly, making decisions on the sly without discussing it with their other parent, okay, if you're the primary guardian. Okay, but what I'd really like to see, and what is ideal for your children, is that they have very similar routines in both of your homes, and that the rules are very similar, if not exactly alike, in both homes. Now, I realize this isn't totally realistic, and it doesn't often happen, but it's something to strive for. So life in mom's house looks a lot like life in dad's house, because unfortunately, kids go back and forth a lot. Usually, most times kids are going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth a lot. And so if you can keep their schedule pretty the same in both houses, that helps them a lot. It makes their life more stable and predictable, which children of all ages manage better that way. What tends to happen is that some things they can get away with in mom's house, and some things they can get away with in dad's house. Or one parent is very laid back and doesn't really have, a dinner time or a bedtime, or the expectation that homework will be done, or that there's a curfew, and then the other parent might be very strict about those things. So often kids are like okay, wait, where am I, which house am I staying in, and what are the rules here? And oh, I get in trouble for this here, but not over there. Okay, so I'll do it over here, but I won't do it over there. It's chaotic. If that's how it is, and you you two cannot line up with how you want to raise the kids, what rules will be in each of your houses, and you cannot get on the same page with this doesn't have to be a disaster. But just be really clear about what your rules are at your house, and don't put the parent down for their rules being different at the other house. Just focus on your own house. And one of the things I suggest parents say is, well, when you're staying with me in our house here, then I expect you to be in bed by 9 o'clock. Or I expect you to do your homework and to get up on time, to get to school on time. Or, yes, when you are at my house for the weekend, yes, you can use the car, as long as you have it back home in the driveway by 11. Or, I'm just making these specifics up, whatever it is. So you can say, instead of saying, yeah, well, so what, how your dad does things over there. This is how it's done over here. And he doesn't have any business doing that. Blah, 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 blah. Don't do that BS crap. Just focus on, yeah, when we're here, I do expect you to make your bed every day. Here you do make your bed every day before you go to school. Or here you do your own laundry, or whatever the rules are. Or here, yes, you still take naps here. So remain firm on what's important to you, what values are important for you to instill with your children when they're with you, and be as consistent as you possibly can. If you simply cannot work with the other parent, to have consistency in each household. Children will adjust and they will learn as long as you stay steady, as you each stay steady in your own separate houses, like this is how it is at dad's, this is how it is at mom's. They'll get the system down over time. They'll get it, they'll learn as long as you stay consistent. But ideally, I really like to see, especially the younger the children are, I like to see, the same bedtimes from house to house. If naps are still part of the scene, that's the same from house to house. And same expectations of, chores or rules or values or whatever, as much as possible. So it's something to strive for. No middle man stuff. Do not put your children in the middle. Now, there are ways that you may be doing that and you not even realize it. When you innocently say, oh, by the way, when you get over there, tell your mom for me that whatever. No. Tell mom directly. Text or call your ex-wife and tell her directly what you need to tell her. Don't make little Susie and little Johnny the messengers between you. It's not good. Don't do it. It puts them in a position that they could screw up the message. It puts them in a position of, you or the other blaming them for forgetting, or then the other spouse being mad at you for not talking directly. It's just, don't put them through it. It's not their jobs. They're not the little pigeon between you now that carries the messages back and forth. Okay? That's enough about that. Okay, it's very important that as much as possible that you respect the relationship they have with the other parent. Just because your relationship went to heck with this person doesn't mean that they no longer need them as a parent, except in extreme circumstances that we're not going to talk about in this video. So they still need their mom, they still need their dad. No matter how that mom or dad treated you, they still need their mom, they still need their dad. So it's very important that you do your very best to respect that relationship and actually encourage the relationship. How do you encourage the relationship? You have those children over there for their visit time on time. You work well with the parent so the parent knows when some school activities are coming up that they might want to participate in, you keep that parent informed, of anything that comes up, like if a teacher calls with a concern, or if you had a doctor visit and what the doctor said, and things like that. You respect, so both parents feel informed and a part of the children's lives as much as they would if you were still in the same house, married. That needs to continue. And the other part is to respect the extended family, the role the extended family has had in the children's lives throughout their lives, and keep them. That's one of the things I reassured my ex-husband and my children when I was leaving and ending the marriage, is I said, don't worry, I will never interfere with any of your traditions. The Whitmer family has many, and I promised I would not interfere with those. And in 5 years, I don't think I have. I think I've done a good job of respecting that and keeping those people in their lives that have been there in their lives. The children need them more than ever right now. They need all the people in their lives that love them, and including your ex-spouse that you may not like at all anymore. So get over yourself on behalf of your children. It's very important. Even if the other parent's not giving you the same regard, even if they're not, I am asking you to take the high road, because the healthier you are, the more stable you are emotionally. Even if the other parent is like going down roads that are unhealthy, downright nasty, whatever, you stay steady and strong and healthy and good and respectful. And that will serve your children so well, so well. They will grow up entirely differently if at least one of you can stay in pretty good shape emotionally and so forth. So please do that. So in other words, bite your tongue whenever you feel tempted. I felt temptation a lot to say things to my children. They were teenagers. I've been quite mature. And so, we kind of have a relationship where we talk about everything, not everything, but we have a pretty open relationship. And there were many times when I felt so tempted to say something that was disrespectful, but true, maybe, about their dad, not lying about him, but just saying things that, there was no good reason for me to do that. That would be just me spewing, getting something out. And so, I think for the most part, I bit my tongue most of the time. I slipped a few times, and when I did, I would say, you know what? Sorry, guys, I shouldn't have said that. I'm really sorry. I should not have said that. That's on me. Your dad, he's a great guy. He loves you. He's I could tell you all the reasons I loved him and married him, and he loves you guys so much. He'd do anything for you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when you have slip-ups, you apologize for those. And then move on. We're just as human as we can be. We're all going to have less than glorious moments, especially with our ex. Especially early, right, in the process of transitioning the family and everything. But do your best. Do your very best. Strive for it all the time. And then, call up your girlfriend or your, like I said, to other people and say, oh, I just got to get this off my chest. And guess what she did now? Guess what he did now? Guess what he said now? Okay. Is that everything I wanted to say about this? I think so. I think that covers some of the major bases. I know there's lots of individual unique situations that come up. Oh, I do want to say that if you are divorcing a step-parent, the legal, when it's biological and adopted parents, there's a lot of legal protection for both parents. But step-parents don't have a lot of legal rights to your biological child or children. However, you may have been married to the step parent for 10 years. This step parent may have practically raised these children with you. And so I really want you to consider, what your child needs, what your child wants in terms of a relationship with that step parent, and what the step parent is willing or wanting or needing or whatever to, and consider how you can keep them incorporated in their lives if that is really in the best interest of your child, whether the judge says you need to or not. I want you to think about that, because you brought that person into your child's life, by the way, and expected them to live with this person, accept parenting from this person, and develop a relationship with this person. And now you're yanking them away because you don't want to be in a relationship with them anymore. But you might really think about, is there a way, if my child really craves and needs this person in their life still, is there a way that we can keep that relationship going on some level, or find a balance somehow in our family for that to still be possible, if you can do it in a healthy manner. Strong emotional health is the most important thing for everyone. And sometimes that means keeping people in our children's lives that we don't always like very much, as long as they're healthy, stable people for the children. So anyway, bless you in this parenting thing with divorce. I know it's not easy. You can do it. You don't have to be perfect, but please be aware of the things that I've shared today. If you can be aware of those things and keep those things in mind, you will do a great service to your children. Have a nice day.